This is Short Hammer. It is the 28th of June, 2020. And this is Trading Zones. This past week, we did see a pullback in the market. And if you were on the wrong side of that, it was kind of nasty. But what we were talking about, what we've been talking about, is that we're running and the market's going up basically based on the hopes that the reopening of the economy would lead to a lot of people really getting back out there and spending their money. But what we've seen is that there's just been a resurgence in coronavirus cases. So what we can expect is maybe people being quarantined again and businesses being shut down. As far as I think Florida and a few other places, they've reinstituted closures as far as bars and social spots, just based on those outbreaks. So we'll see where this goes. Looking at the charts, we when you see, and I do use Heikin-Ashi candles, and usually the green is a sign of momentum, just like the red is a sign of downward momentum. This is sort of upward momentum, but I use them weird sometimes. And so what I see here on the 4-hour is we're up, and I don't see an advancement. Like whenever I see this, and this is sort of probably weird in how I look at it, whenever I see candles not making an advancement, I look for, what should I say, reasons to get short, and not how some people get short and they expect it to go, oh, it's at, can't get past 30.80, I guess it's going to 29.10, like not like that, but look to fade and get 10 points, 5 points, scalp out of some of these plays. That's what I look for when I start to see this type of topping action here. And if it breaks out and holds, I'm out. So I'm not really what's the word, like all in, I'll die on this hill on any idea. I just take it as long as the setup holds. Once the setup holds and the chart looks like something else, I'm out. So an example of that would be here, right? Let's say I think that this pulls back and I think this is going to go down. I get short here. The second this bad boy breaks and it's holding, I'm out. I'm not going to wait to see if it hits. Like, no, I'm out, because this is showing me that we're not going down. We're having strength to the upside. Look at these candles. This just looks strong. So for me to try to be short here and to hold that short is just being stubborn. Here, same thing. If I was short here, it's stubborn. Like, don't be stubborn. If I'm like, if I watch this action here and I'm short and I don't exit here, pulls back up, look at that break. You just have to exit whenever you feel something going against you, and whatever setup that you use, make sure you obey and you cut whatever setup you use. So looking at this, we're right above, off the soapbox, right above the 29.94 area, it looks like, right in here. So what would I be looking for going into next week? I want to see if we get an advancement below this 29.94 area down to the 29.70s or down to the 29.51s, even the 29.45 to 29.38s. That's what I want to see what happens here. Look, I see this candle structure here. Will buyers step in here if we sell? If we pull back up, I want to see, do we get above 30.28? And I might be looking to, I probably would not get short here, but I'll see how it sets up as far as a nice little scalp. I would prefer a push back up into the 30.60s right here, into 30.70. Like, this area is where I prefer, if I'm going to get short, between 30.64 to the 30.70s is the area that I look to get into to fade this back down. It's not that this area is horrible down here to 30.29 area, but I like that I see not just a rejection here, a breakthrough. That's cool. Pull back through, back test the same area, through here, back test here, back test here, back test here, come back through, back test, back test, back test. So it's like a lot of interactions around the 3064. So that's my line of demarcation that I'm watching for. Like if we go up, I would rather get short there and fade there and give myself a nice stop. Maybe the tops of these candles is the area that I'd be watching. If like a push through and a pierce for the 3064s, I'd be looking for a short position. If we roll down through the 2994s, then I'm watching the 2970s, like I just mentioned earlier, and I'll see what happens there. But I'll be looking for a pop to fade. That's what I would be looking for. I wouldn't be playing the downward selling action. I'd look for a pullback and then wait to see selling candles, and then I'll enter and ride it back down. So let's see. So that's what I see on the MES. And so the upper levels, you got 3118, 3156, and you have the lower levels below the 2940s and 2938s. You have 2914, 2887s. But what I'm going to be watching for is, do we drop this bottom around 2994, or do we back test the 3064? That's what I'm watching for this week. And if we gap and we run hard through 3064 and we have new news coming out, then of course I'll be careful. But if we just back test this area and there's no new news, chances are I'll be short. But I'll be short based on intraday candles, probably on the 5-minute, 10-minute time frame. And I'll use a higher level to look for the area to get in, but I'll use that lower level on my entries and my exits. So that's what I'll be watching for. And if we pull back into 3028s and we were weak there and there's just no buying, I might be short here also. But my ideal area is up here on 3064. Looking at the RTY, the Russ. Let's see. So where we are here, and don't believe in the downside. Like everyone has this belief that we're going to sell to no end. This hardly ever happens, really. I'm going to watch to see if we get a pullback into the 1416s. And if we do, then I might look for a short position. But chances are I'll just be watching the Russell. I'm not going to be messing with it too much. So to the upside, we have 1416. Above that, 1453, then 1516. Below, we have 1350s and 1290s. I'm just going to be watching this to see what it does. Maybe help me with overall market direction, but I will probably not be taking a position here. Amazon has been on a massive run. Look at this back test of this area. Now, this is a new line, so this was not there last week. But you can see these upper candle areas, and you want to see, can we get advancement above that? Can we continue this breakout? So is this a consolidation time and we're going to go, or are we going to sell back down around the 2660s and 2626s? We'll see. But on the 4-hour, it does look potentially bearish. We have to see if it makes a lower low here. But I'll be watching Amazon next week. Not sure if I'll be, let's see. Yeah, I'll be definitely watching this next week. And what I'll be watching for, to be honest, is a pullback down to 2660, 2620, 26. And I want to see if the buyers step in. Now, if we go back to the upside, I wonder if these lower areas here around 27, 28 will provide a little bit of supply or resistance if we pull back into that area. Because you see how we kind of have a little bit of rounding action here where we went down and then the buyer stepped in and popped this back up. And so we'll see if we get a back test of that, and it provides an ability to be able to fade it at least back to the 2690. So we'll see how that works on Amazon. But to the downside, I did mention 2660, 2626. Then it's a big drop to 2470s. But we'll see how this holds up as far as this structure here. But it does look like we could see a little bit of sell side. But I'm not going to be expecting some big sell off. Not right now. Is it possible? Yes, but We'll see. On over to Netflix. It's back in this little channel area that we drew in before. And so what do I expect? If we stay above 440s, I expect the buyers to push us back through 447 into the 457 area. If we go below the 440s and we have a little bit of momentum, a little bit of drive to the downside, then it does open up the 414s and the 403s. I will be watching Netflix this week just to see if the buyers drive us back up, which is, to me, is quite possible that the buyers buy us back up. But personally, what I would like to have seen on a Netflix on this pullback here, this to me is perfect. It stops right around this top portion here of the previous all-time high. And then I want the buyers to drive us up. So I would not have predicted or would have wanted this here for it to sell back through. So we'll see if we find any buyers here in this little channel area, this 440 by 447, or if we just roll through that and continue to sell down into the 414s, maybe even lower. So we'll see sort of where Netflix goes. But what I'm watching for is to see if we see buyers to get us above the 447s. And if we get above the 447s with buyers, then I might be riding the momentum of this back test of the upside. Or if this area here. We'll see. NVIDIA, same. See all these things pulling back. We'll see if we get a little bit of buy off 368.20s. Below that, I have 351 here. So we'll see how that works. But, and yeah, 351, 363, 68 here. So 363. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. We'll see if we get a buy here off of 363s and a pushback into the 372s, then a sell, or if we buy higher. But NVIDIA, I will just be watching these levels to see if we can't make new highs next week, then we're going to definitely get a nice little bit of selling action to the downside here. Below the, this is what, 351. So we'll see if we even go there. But this area here, this 350, these 350s, 351 to be particular, it does, you can see this sideways candle action here, and I like to see that as a place where this could go to naturally rest before it explodes up for the next leg. So we'll see how that works. And Microsoft also pulling back. We'll see if we see some sell action here. This area to me is the natural rest area of where this should be, the 187 by 185. This area is what I'll be watching for on Microsoft if we sell. If we don't sell and the buyers step in, we'll see if we can make all-time highs. But the numbers around this level is the 195.82. Below that, the 191, 187. I kind of left the upper area intentionally blank because I want to see if we make new highs. If we buy up through here, then those levels won't matter. You know, it'll just keep pushing for a day or two, or maybe even more than that. But Microsoft is interesting. We were watching initially for the consolidation, and we were expecting a break, and boy, did it break. Definitely like that. Let's see. REGN. Back below this little channel area here. We mentioned when we push up into the 60s as it gets weak. Tried to go, couldn't quite go. Now the sellers are trying to push this back down. We'll see if we get a little bit of pinball action here and it actually heads to the top. But REGN is interesting right off of R606. So if we get bearish candlestick formations below this, I'm watching into the 591s. If we get bullish above, watching it into the 619. right this little area here. Tesla rejecting at the 1019 area, and on the sell we need to watch. We already touched it once, the 938. See if we hold that and we buy back to the upside. Look at these tops here. So it's clear that this area would provide a little bit of support, or it should. We'll see if that continues on Tesla. Natural resting place is this area actually, yeah, probably much lower as far as the place where it should be. Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Facebook not looking too strong right now. So on Facebook, I'm not going to chase the short. The 210s is an area that we like to watch. I love this sell. If we see a pullback before 210s, I'll be looking to fade that. If we sell through the 210s, then I think the selling could definitely continue. So I'll be watching Facebook closely. Nice sell candles here. But the 210s the area that I watch. If we stay above that, I'm still bullish. If we go below, I'm definitely bearish. And just to let me broaden this out, drag this here. And you can see it's right here around the 212 area. So we'll see if we open up below 210s. And Goldman Sachs is testing the bottom of our channel. It's the area that we mentioned before. This 189 to about 207. Yes, 207. So banks got hammered near the end of the week. We'll see if this continues to the downside. If there's momentum. If it has legs, I'll be watching the 177s if we get below the 189s. If we buy back up, then we'll be watching Goldman Sachs. I think it's doubtful, but it's possible. But we'd have to draw through 197 and then squeeze into 207. I will definitely be watching. But I do like the action that we see in the channel where we pull back into the channel and you see nothing but upper wicks, no advancement through to get above it. Taking a peek at the SPY. And this was a channel that we were watching way back here, like how we wrote it here. So if we sell down into this area, I would expect us a little bit of a pop. So if we sell down to 294, I expect a pop. What's this 302? Excuse me. Oh yeah, something went down the wrong pipe. So we'll see if we get back down to this top of this channel. If so, I will be looking for buyers. So we'll see how this shakes out. Do like this though. We'll see if we get like pullbacks. 302, 307. We'll see how this works. But if you like this video, please don't hesitate to tap that like button and subscribe to our channel. Power of Pivots, where you can look forward to receiving not just content from me, but content from Elisa as she shows you how she utilizes her power of pivots strategy to find great entries, both intraday, swing plays, futures plays, penny stock plays, and also pre and post market plays. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful week of trading and remain safe.